Wait till it's 7 seconds. There we go. All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Also, want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that's teaching this truth and sincerity, and also who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered the four corners of the earth, which are you so-called Negroes, Latino, Hispanics, Native American Indians, the true Israelites that's coming up there, the elect nation, the nation of Israel, that the Lord is dealing with in no other nation, okay? All right. So this is the brother Yawanathan, GMS Detroit. And this is just a quick lesson through the spirit, inspirational. I don't know what I'm going to entitle it yet, but this is laying backing off a video that I saw by the, Bible Defenders. Very beautiful video. I didn't get to watch the full video in its entirety, but I was watching just the snippets of IUIC, and it's always law, but you can't keep the law perfectly. It's impossible. Now, if you was to do things by the law and keep it possibly, first off, you trying to do the law perfectly in this society in today's times is going to cause an effect where you can cause the ministry to be blamed, okay? And one of the scriptures they brought out was Romans 3:31. So let's grab that real quick. Here we go. And it says, do we then make void the law through faith? It says, Yahweh forbid, power forbid. Yea, we establish the law. Okay? Now, when you read deeper into Romans, you get a different vibration. You get a better understanding of what it is. Now, the law is not done away with. Okay? Because when you have faith in something, you're going to follow a suit. You're gonna put money where your mouth is. Then you're gonna with the faith that you have, actions are gonna follow behind it. So let's jump to 6. Romans 6:14. It says, for sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under grace. So right there, we're not under the law. Now, we do understand transgressions of the law will, eventually, sins is, equal to death. But we have to understand that we're under the vibrations and the rulerships of Esau, Edom, Job 9:24. The world was given into the hands of the wicked. Okay? So it's a whole vibration of things and unrighteous decrees that puts us in a way where we can't follow the law to the best of our ability. All right. All right. Verse 15. Right. It says, "What then shall we?" Hold on. Let me read 14 one more time. And it says, "For sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under grace." So now we have a grace period. Where we have that mercy to, like when you go have a house, you got a grace period. Or like you paying rent, got an apartment, rent is usually due on the first of the month, every month. Like you have a grace period. right? So this grace period is, repent and do right, do the best of your ability, and orchestrate yourself to the best of your ability to make yourself worthy of salvation of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay? So, you have that now. But it says, 15, it says, then what? Shall we sin? Because we are not under the law, but under grace. And it says, Yahweh forbid, or power forbid. So it's just right there, it says that we're not under the law. Not saying that we got to do away with the law, but listen, if we was all law, we break one law, we break them all. Okay? And like one of the heads always say, if you guys over there in IUIC believe that y'all keep the law, statutes, and commandments perfectly, and if it was all about the law, we wouldn't need Yahweh Shai. All right? So, being studious and actually reading, you get a better understanding of the scriptures. But looking at these guys, it's just full of contradictions that you can just easily, counter. All right? I got other scriptures queued up. Let me grab this one, because this is just not, it's not all law. Now, like I stated earlier, the law isn't done away with, but over here, through the tutelage of GMS, we do our best, all right, to put away the unrighteousness, to not be worldly. So actually, I had one popped up. Boy, Romans been lately these past couple of weeks. It's been a lot of Romans chapters that's been coming out. So let me get Romans. Grab it and just slip my ass Satan. That Satan's a motherfucker. That's Satan for you. That is Satan, because I had another scripture I wanted to grab. But now, oh yeah, here we go. Got it back. Romans 12. All right. And it reads, it says, Romans 12 and 2, it says, be not conformed to this world, but ye be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that is good and acceptable and perfect, the will of Yahweh. So when you get these scriptures and getting into the law, the way you're supposed to conduct yourself, that will let you know that you're separate from this world and that you're trying to do the Lord's will to the best of your ability. Just having a beard, stop eating pork. Jake, put down the blunt, put down the scrimps. So on, stop trying to lust over, stop trying to get over your brother, so on and so forth. These are the things that you can do, to work on yourself, to conduct yourself in righteousness, because this world is wicked, and Jake Jake loves to exercise evil, okay? But over here in GMS, we got the full knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the scriptures and how to conduct yourself. Judges. Here we go. Here's the point. This is Judges 5 and 11. It says, they that are delivered from the noises of archers and the places of drawn waters, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, even the righteous acts towards the inhabitants of the villages in Israel, and shall the people of the Lord go down in the gates. But the point was we will rehearse the righteous acts. So when you rehearse, what you do, you're practicing, you know, so you can be perfect. You know, you're never just gonna get it right then and there. But for you to, when you rehearse, you getting ready for that play, and you know, for that curtain to come up, to put on that, to get that audience, that standing ovation that you deserve, you got to go hard in this. That's why we can't be stagnant. That's why we're doing our best to grow, to learn, to be acceptable. I mean, yes, we have obstacles, and that's why we can't be perfect in here. So that's why they don't keep the law. I mean, like I said, now, again, I stated, man, Romans this week, these past couple of weeks, the book of Romans has been popping out like crazy. Okay? When you get into Romans, the 2nd chapter, it talks about the hypocrites, man. You know, and the Lord exposing them, bringing their secrets to light, roughly paraphrasing. But, you know, we see these guys, hypocrites, they want to be all law, but you can see their conduct, man. It doesn't line up exactly with the scriptures. And again, like I said, we're in this captivity. You know, you look at some of these members, IUIC, they got long hair, they got dreads, or they got lineups. All right, and you know they're pushing the doctrine. Like, listen, we're at GMS. We're here to push the word, right? They force the word. Now I got 2 examples. Now, one, let me grab this too. And like I say, and again, the book of Romans. Romans has been popping out like crazy. Romans 12 and 18. It reads, if it be possible, as much as life in you, live peaceably with all men. Now, I'm going to try to fix my words as carefully as I can, because, 2 incidences. Now, it was me and another brother, Brother Ariel. We went to get some water we was trying to get stuff for the camp. And finally, IUIC actually was out prophesying because it was a nice day. And how they were set up, it was a vibration where it could get into a vibration of problems. And we had a decree, like, we don't get into it with them. We don't debate with them. We just mind our business, go out and keep it pushing. But to the average Jake, that looked like that can start, like, cause some strife. Alright? So that's on one account. Now, this is the second account. Second account, we were setting up camp, me and another brother. We got there, kind of early. And, homeless Jake, he was asking money. He asking, for some shekels to get some food. And he was like, hey, I seen you guys. He was very sincere. But it got to the point, now I'm not saying, like I said, we here being at GMS where we conduct ourselves and not being impulsive and not trying to point fingers. I'm not trying to bear false witness, but this is just what the man said. I'm not sure if it's true. I'm not sure if it's not. But, he gets into the vibration. It's like, yeah, I went to talk to the guys in the purple and gold and they hit me in the head, or, somewhat to that degree. So I'm like, yeah, that was crazy because he knew it was IUIC. He was like, yeah, they were purple shirts and he had gold on. But the scriptures say be peaceable. But I'm just using that as just a, edification to bring out scriptures. I'm not sure if it's true or not. Like I said, not trying to bear false witness because I don't know. But nevertheless, it's about, if y'all want to keep the law, don't be a hypocrite in it. Okay? Because like I said, we're in Esau's kingdom. There's no way you can be law. Alright? Shalaki. So I'm going to grab this last one and I'm going to end it out on this one. This is the book of Numbers. It's 13 or 15. Let's see. Yep, this is the Numbers 15. And let's start at 32. And it says, and while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man that gathered sticks upon the Sabbath day. Alright? So when you conduct yourself on the Sabbath, the only thing that you're supposed to really be doing is just resting. You're not supposed to be working, you're not supposed to be kindling fires, you're not supposed to be cooking, And it says, and they found him gathering sticks, brought him unto Moses and Aaron, and unto the congregation, and unto all the congregation. And they put him in a ward because it was not declared what should be done. Alright, now here's the point. And it says, and the Lord said unto Moses, the man shall be surely put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones without the camp. And all the congregations brought him without the camp and stoned him with stones, and he died as the Lord commanded Moses. Alright, so he profaned the Sabbath day. Now, again, we're in Esau's kingdom, and the Sabbaths do change, but we have to work. Esau does not care about the Sabbath days. It's either, you want to continue, you want to do the Sabbath day, or you get fired. And that's why the scriptures say in Ecclesiastes, don't be over righteous much. When you look at the Maccabees, how they had the enemies fighting against them, they weren't fighting back because it was a Sabbath day. Now, it was righteous, but it wasn't wise. Don't be over wise much. So that's why we have to use that grace and that mercy and that faith, because law, you're going to fail. Shit, like this claims to be somewhat 100% cotton. We're not even supposed to be we're not even supposed to wear mixed fabric. Okay? The majority of these things is like half cotton, half polyester, or silk, so on and so forth. Okay? But nevertheless, Lord willing, I hope this video is edifying. Keep that faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Still orchestrates the law, statute, commandments to the best of your ability. What you can do. I'm just gonna keep pushing this word. We're almost out of here. And again, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise due to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Kakadash. And again, double honors to the elders and apostles that great know, so teaches truth and sincerity, and also rule well. Peace, salutations to the hopeful light. I want to close out, say shalom.